I get an alert on my phone from YouTube to say that we're live.
Okay.
We should see stuff come through. But hopefully it should be all good. There we go. I can see it. Yep. So we are live. Hello, everyone. How are we all today? Greetings. So no Mr. Bradshaw today. He is off revealing a plaque at Ronald McDonald's house, I think somewhere in Manchester, which is an awesome thing. It's fair enough. We can give him a pass on that one. So I am joined by Vernon Richards today. Hi, Vern.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. Always petrified when you wrote me into these tooling things, but I'm okay. Good.
I seem to think like this should be second nature to you. Like you host so much of our stuff that it's just a friendly chat about tools. That's all it is.
Yeah, so you say. So, until you ask me a difficult question.
Yeah, I've got like 10 ready for you. So. Cool. Yes. So this is day 8 of 30 Days of Tools, and as always, we're running a live stream each day to sort of talk about the challenge. And Richard and I are trying to get involved and do all of the challenges each day. So we're doing a live stream every day, weekday. So we'll be back on Monday, both of us, and we'll have a bit of catch up to do because we'll have Saturday and Sunday sessions to do as well. But yeah, so today is day 8. And has been mentioned before by both myself and Richard, is that Vern thinks of himself as not technical and doesn't use tools, but we absolutely disagree with him. But you raised an interesting point, actually, Vern, when we were talking about this sort of a couple of days ago when I was inviting you on, which is that I think a lot of the tools that Richard and I have talked about come from that sort of automated checking slant. But really, tools come from, we can use tools for all sorts of stuff as well. Which I think is going to be interesting because that kind of connects to this, because I don't really know what you're going to go for here in terms of the challenge. But the challenge for today was to share a video about testing tools you've recently watched. So maybe after this, you and I will jump on the club and we'll actually share links and bits and pieces. But yeah, why don't you go first? Like, what sort of videos around tools have you watched recently?
Most recently, it's not directly about a specific tool. It was a more general thing around, or things around testability. So I have watched a video by Rob Meany, which actually he did at Test Bash Belfast, I think it was, back in 2017. Or it might be 2018.
I remember that talk. Yeah,
really good talk.
Fantastic
Tale
talk,
of testability. Yeah, he's as I said to my colleagues when I shared the link, I was like, he literally wrote the book on testability. So in there, yeah. So in that talk, he talks about how we can test more effectively if we make our applications more testable, and in so doing, you need to get under the covers of the GUI a lot of the time and start thinking about, well, how are we deploying this thing? How are we monitoring it? How observable is it? And a whole host of other things. And I also watched, or rewatched, I should say, because I was there when it was recorded, was an Ask Me Anything with Ash Winter, who also co-wrote the book with Rob on testability.
He did.
And that talk, like, Ash is just, he understands this topic so well, and he's really good at explaining it. And the questions that we got from the community were amazing. So it was a really good session. So I would advise you to create yourselves an account and get onto that Ask Me Anything session. And the final thing that there were 2 more things. So there was another talk on testability by Nicola Owens. I'll have to find a link for that. I think that was also at bloody hell, this is turning into a bit of self-promotion. That was also a test
wait
match
until
in
you hear
Brighton.
wait until you hear what I'm going to share, because it is brazen self-promotion.
So that was a good one. That was a good one. So yeah, Nicola Owens talks about, it was a little bit more, it was less theoretical, and it was more like, here's how I made my application more testable.
Yeah.
And talked about the actual conversations that she had and the tools and the practices that she did. And the final one, which was not Ministry of Testing, this was a cast talk by Joanna Sherban. I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry, Joanna. An outstanding talk. It's on YouTube. Go look at the thing. It is fantastic. I'll put the link in the club after this. Just talking about her adventure and how to get access to things. Invariably, it meant tools. And again, going underneath the covers, getting access to stuff that things that developers use to help make things testable, help make more effective. So they were it was all around testability is what I'm working on with my team at the minute.
So it's like the motivators behind the tool selections, because obviously you've attended some of the automation testing workshops we've done, and we talk a lot about how testability can inform what tools you can and can't use. Absolutely. So, I think it's good. It'd be interesting, actually. I wonder if Ash's AMA does actually mention some tools as well, because he's done a course for us on operability, and it's quite a nice mix because he fuses the sort of the theory with the practical on the tooling side as well, and shares quite a few different tools as well. So that's definitely try and drop that in and recommend for people to check that out as well. For myself, as I say, it's kind of brazen self-publishing, but it's honest, is that I say self-publishing. This is more for Viv Richards, who I thought was coming on today, but I got Vernon. I got the wrong Richards.
And by the way, folks, that's not the first time Mark has made that mistake.
No, not even this month.
Not even this month.
I was teasing Viv recently about that, but he's just done a course on DevTools for us, Chrome DevTools. So I've actually been watching those as I've been putting things together around that. But beyond just his DevTools stuff that he's done as well, is the tools that he's created to help people learn more about DevTools. So his Testers Playground, and his Sweet Shop as well. Yeah, they're fantastic little apps that he's built that, especially the Testers Playground, because he's set like lots of different challenges and activities and stuff, which obviously the course that he's created has kind of encourages you to sort of learn how to use the tools and then go ahead with it. So that's quite cool. I think that was one that I've watched and I can add. I've also been personally, this is where I go into the automation stuff. I've been learning Pact because I'm writing a book and I have to write about Pact in the book. See, that's how you connect it all together and do the self-publication stuff. So yeah, I am. Yeah, it's come up on occasion. But yeah, Pact is the tool I was looking at quite a lot last month. I'd had some experience with it before, but now I wanted to write a bit more about it. So so some short videos on that and bits and pieces as well on that, which is quite useful. But again, it's sort of kind of that automation sort of focus, as is the case with a lot of the things I do.
Okay.
So that said, those are kind of some of the options that we've chosen. I think we should have a little look at what people have posted on the club as well, because I think it's an interesting one. Like obviously we've chosen quite a lot of Ministry of Testing stuff because we're kind of in that world and those videos and stuff. But I think there's one of the reasons why we chose this as a challenge is because people are going to share stuff from outside, like you mentioned the cast video and stuff. So there's one here from Ian Soderia, and I don't really know what the video is called. He sent a link. Let me have a look at what's the YouTube video called? Checking for old libraries on your website. Retire.js. It's a little Chrome extension, apparently, so you can run it and it will tell you what libraries are out of date on your website. That's pretty funky.
Pretty cool. Yeah,
I like that. And then he wants to see more videos on full automation frameworks. Who doesn't? I think that's probably one of the reasons why TAU is so popular, because they do a lot of that sort of that stuff, and obviously we do a bit of that as well, and that's always very popular. And then we have, I've been practicing, and Laura, don't enunciate the E at the end, Mark, and Laura. She's shared one from Product Hunt. So I think Product Hunt is a really interesting thing, because we talked about this in some of the previous challenges of where you find tools and how you evaluate and stuff. But I didn't think about Product Hunt, because that's where obviously a lot of new shiny bits and pieces come through as well. So that's interesting, and it's called Promise. Helps you to easily define and share best coding practices. So she sent sort of an advert for it with a video on it. Wow!
Do you think it's Promise or Promise?
Promise, Promise. This is the thing. I always struggle with things with words and stuff. I've been calling gist for the last year.
Are you opening these links?
Yes, I'm looking at them. I'm not sharing my screen at the moment, because the last time I did that, I accidentally shared all our internal financials. So let's not do that on the internet. But it looks like, so it's something to encourage, let's say, coding practices and pairing, and just trying to create better code, really, which I think is an interesting one. So they're quite different tools. Like one sort of kind of facilitating conversations and improving the culture around code reviews, but the other one's like a monitoring tool. So this one's good. So from Pete Michelson, he's shared a talk from Paul Grisafi, like a cake, automation is good in layers. And I think that's interesting, because that comes back to what you were talking about testability and automatability. So that talks all about, adding in layers so that you can, as I like to say, get your grubby little fingers in. So you can test on the UI or the API or the unit level. But it goes back to like what you've been sort of advocating to your team as well about sort of if you can improve testability, automatability, that sort of thing, it can help. Dominic with his usual cheeriness says, I don't watch videos to learn things. Thank you. But he does give a recommendation about using man for command line tools. So if you put like man and then the name of the tool, it'll actually give you all the documentation, which is very useful.
I must say, Dom is much less grumpy in person than he is here.
Yeah.
On this,
I just like the fact that like so far through the challenges, he's not afraid to go, no, I'm not doing that, or no, I don't do that, or something like that. So, but it's nice. It's a fresh perspective and stuff, and like, certainly like understanding how best you receive like information, like learning. So I like watching videos, and I've talked about before, I like copying code snippets, so the sort of the visual stuff tends to stick in my brain more. Obviously that might not be the case for himself, so he likes the sort of the reading side.
Well, that's for me, that's the meta value in these 30 days of that we like to do at Ministry of Testing, which is we aren't dictating anything to anybody. It's like, this is the way that you have to learn. It's like, figure out how you best learn, and then take that forward, as Dominic has so wonderfully demonstrated.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and not being afraid to sort of say that's how I go about it. And then a few more, just aware of time. So Jill Humphrey, she's shared. So she spanned the wheel of tools. So I think that's a good opportunity for yourself. Actually, is try out the wheel of tools. See if it
yeah.
forces you into
I'll give it
something
a go.
uncomfortable. I need to do it again because I started. I was like, I'm going to learn Gatling, and then I realised it's not what I need, so I've stopped. So I need to come back, and that challenge is hanging over me a little bit. So I need to come back and think about that one.
Okay.
But she got Mockaroo, which is wicked. Have you come across Mockaroo before?
I haven't even heard of that. I can imagine what it does though, based on the name.
Yeah, mate, it's amazing. So you can create random data sets really quickly through like a UI. So you literally you have a form to fill in and you go, these are the names of my fields. So for example, like a couple of days ago, I was actually creating a random CSV. So I put like the table headings in, and then you can select from libraries. So you can be like, just create me random first names or full names or credit card numbers or phone numbers and stuff like that. And then you press a button and it builds it all for you. And then, yeah, they've got like a pro feature where you can turn it into a mock and all that sort of stuff. But I just tend to use it for the randomizer.
You may have solved all manner of problems for me and my team just now. Thank you very much, Jill. And thank you very much, Mark. That was
definitely.
awesome.
I'll share the link with you afterwards.
That one out.
Yeah, it's
Nice
really good. And it's
you,
very,
Jill.
very powerful. Yeah, so
Wow.
credit to Jill for
amazing.
Kelly Kenyon has a link to a TAU tutorial on Postman, which I believe was probably Beth's course.
It is Beth. Yeah,
Beth's course. That's I've seen a lot of mention of that on Twitter and stuff. So it's proven to be very popular. Postman's always a very popular tool as well. Do you use much Postman?
I'm going to be going through that course. I haven't. So the first time I ran into Postman was. I'm sure it was a long time. I want to say 7
years. Been around for a while. It's been around longer than you think it has.
Yeah, I want to say 7 years, but I haven't really used it in anger. But I need to get on top of it ASAP. So Beth's course is on my to-do list.
I know you've used it because you came to my API testing course and we used Postman.
Yes.
And
yes.
And you found some good bugs. I remember that. and that was like 6-7 years ago as well. So yeah,
it was. Oh my god, yeah, it was. 6 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Mirza has shared one on, again, sort of kind of in the Postman vein, but specific features. So testing GraphQL APIs with Postman. Also, hi Mirza, I did see your message. Hello, hope you're well. So he's got one on GraphQL, and then I saw one more from Cyprian, where he shares a video which is called "Perfect Software: The Enemy of Rapid Delivery" by Sally. Is it Goebel? For Agile on the Beach 2017. So it says it was quite useful for shifting my thinking around testing, coming from an automation-heavy world in very risk-averse domains. The video goes against everything I was taught, how I thought and operated on a daily basis. Initially, it was quite tricky to make a philosophical shift, and even trickier to make the process shift. That's an interesting. I've not come across that video. I think I might have to watch that talk. I think that'd be quite cool. But again, it's another. You have?
No. Go on, carry on.
No. You go.
I was going to say I've heard Sally talk about work she did. I want to say The Guardian, and she pretty much turned her team from a team of testers into a team of toolsmiths. I think she delivered that talk at one of the Pipeline conferences. Pipeline has sadly stopped. Great conference that was. But if you go on YouTube, I think you can find all their talk. Like anytime Sally talks about anything to do with software development or testing, you should listen to what she's got to say, because she's not failed yet. So I'll be checking that video out for sure.
Sally spoke at Test Bash about device fragmentation.
Yeah, she did.
That sort of just popped in my head. I was like, I remember that. That was a really good talk as well. Yeah. Well, they did it all in that Mac versus PC.
That's right. Yeah.
Style and things. It was very good. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
She did it with now. I can't remember his name. I can't remember what he looks like.
John Hare Wyndham.
John. Yes. Cool.
Yeah, because and then John was at Belfast giving a talk about testing in production.
Yeah.
But it all interconnects. It all links.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, there's some great contributions there on the club, and I think it's really interesting that some people have kind of interpreted like you have in terms of like videos that are more about the thinking behind the tools, the sort of the motivations behind the tools, not just like this is a cool tool that I'm interested in. Because, and that's I think something crucial about 30 days is trying to get people to think more about the why behind the tools that they're picking.
Yeah,
which is very cool. Well, yeah, I'm aware of time, and I also know that you have an essentials workshop to prepare for this evening as well. Oh, I think I lost you there for a bit, or is that just a sort?
I'm here.
Was that just a quiet reserve sort of? Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah. Is it this evening? No, it's next week. Oh no, well, kind of this evening, kind
I've got this real panic now of like, is there one?
No, there isn't. There isn't. I am prepared to be very wrong about that.
Well, we'll find out at 6 o'clock. Okay. Awesome. All right, Ben. Well, it was really good to have you on.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Thanks for filling in for Richard. Richard and I will be back next week, and we will be doing challenges 9, 10, and 11 on Monday and catching up. I think 11 is a particularly fun one that I'm looking forward to seeing people engage with. Also, if you haven't already, Test.Bash is coming at the end of this month, which is sort of almost like a culmination of 30 days of tools. We're going to be having all sorts of talks and stuff around tools and how tools help support us in our testing. So experience reports from people and a few sort of demos of things that people have built so we can learn from one another. It's going to be awesome. If you're pro, it's free to sign up. So just head over to the site and hit the button. If you haven't already joined Ministry of 30 Days of Testing, the Ministry of Testing, try it out. Whoosh, yeah, trying out the cool features of Restream. Just head over to Topics, 30 Days of Tools, and hit the subscribe button, and you'll get a challenge in your inbox every day for the whole of October.
Yeah, do it.
Nice one.
Do
it. Yes. Anything you'd like to add, Van, to the proceedings?
No, I just want to thank the people that contributed on the club to today's challenge.
Absolutely.
I am definitely going to go and check out at least 2 of those videos on there for sure, or 3 even. Yeah. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see some familiar faces now appearing for each session. So hopefully we'll all get through this together. Nice one. Oh, all right then. Well, that's it for this stream. We'll be back Monday, 12:30, normal time, normal setup. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Have a great weekend, Van.
You too, friend. See you next week.
Bye.